On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the rookie fourth-round pick. This is Dameon Pierce. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play fake. Mills. And right away he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw, Mills. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Johnson's got it complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. First and 10, it's Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Great effort by Derwin James on the stop.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 12, Mills. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Mills. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mills. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. On play action, Mills. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. The 40. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now that's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to his left and trying to get the ball to a receiver. We've seen all those drills where they're trying to get the shoulders square and point it towards the target downfield.
Mills again. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. (21-0) our score after 1. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Well, they got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it, and they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And some room to maneuver. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Let's go. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Pierce takes it straight ahead. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3rd and short yardage, Mills. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Mills on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
He's got it to Collins, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking the sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mills on 3rd and 2. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And it's caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert now. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw here, Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Chargers would extend their lead here just before halftime. Hopkins with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills on a slant. Here's Collins. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Mills to Pierce. They set up the screen.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one.
Let's go.
Final play of the half, Mills. And his throw is incomplete. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Herbert off of play action. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, a 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. It's Eckler again. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a catch right side by Evans. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now it's Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Completion good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Herbert going to keep it on the sneak. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Mills. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. from the gun. Here's Mills. And now here is another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Let's go. Hey, check that. Street.
Eckler. Touchdown, Chargers. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
To try again after the sack. Herbert, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it back in one play.
Didn't feel like a pitcher working his way to a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Pierce now up the middle. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mills. Incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mills. He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and they will remain well behind. Well, a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlepp-Rock, got that black cloud over their heads.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Herbert. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get pulled.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back to the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Taking it about the one.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And finally, he's out of bounds, but not before a great return. He's all the way inside the 30.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Now a handoff for Pierce. Down to the 22-yard line.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mills to throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know what he thinks going on out there, CD.
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. They're going to pass here with Herbert. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
To the air again, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. They'll start this drive out on the ground.